Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. This time it's going to be obviously a different deck, as you can tell by the card count, as I'm going to be playing my branded Despia Bystial deck. And I'm also facing it's a very unique deck, which I really want to see. It's actually going to be a dice deck. Although it does seem random, he's utilizing normal monsters, but I think it's simply for the combo that requires normal monsters in order for him to ritual summon his bigger monsters. So starting off, he's going to normal summon Manju to get the search effect. Let's proceed. He's going to, like I pretty much predicted, advance ritual art. If I had to guess, he was going to use one of his normal monsters to ritual summon using this card. But from here on, he's going to set. But then I'm going to special summon Ecclesia, since my opponent controls more monsters than me, even though he only has one monster, I have none. And from here on, I'm going to actually immediately fusion summon with Valma Valdez. As you see here, I'm going to discard my brick to go into Albion the Branded Dragon, which will pretty much trigger his effect when he's fusion summoned. I'll fuse himself as well as Fallen Valdez to go into Lubellion. I'm going to discard a card to shuffle these two back to my deck, one from extra and main, to go into Mirror Jade Battle Phase 3k, and then I'll pass it to my opponent. One thing I need to let you guys be aware, this duel isn't going to be too long, but a lot goes, because it's only a few turns, but a lot goes on for the past couple of turns, which you should keep your seats on. So keep yourself seated, just enjoy the duel. When you notice how long the turns are, you would think it's more than one turn. So as I said before, he's gonna play his dice cards in order to advance ritual as well as special summon. At first I thought it was advanced ritual when he searched for it, but I don't think he would be crazy enough to ditch his, sacrifice his best card. Basically, forfeit his best card and then take the risk of setting it. And so from here on, he's gonna go Arc the Relents. I could use Mirror Jade's effect, but I want to see what he's up to. So before I do anything hasty, so he's gonna roll the dice 3 times thanks to Arcot's effect. So not only will he be able to draw 2 cards, he will also be able to attack me directly, which is a very strong effect. And he drew into Advanced Ritual Art, I assume, or he's going to activate it, my mistake. Or he's revealing to special summon the Incantation Candle. I'm waiting for him to special summon the Talismandra, and then I'll Super Poly using Lubellion and the Talismandra. And from here on out, I'm going to go to Draco Stepelia. So this is a very intense duel, as you can tell, because neither side is giving up. And we're just going head to head, back and forth. This is the duel that I want to see. This is what makes the game more exciting, not where just one deck is literally taking over the meta and making sure that nobody can play Yu-Gi-Oh whatsoever. But in this duel, you can see the tables, you can see the tables between one of us. We're actually interacting and trying to see who can compete and play some of the strongest monsters, and not making it so that it is impossible for the player to play. It just makes it, if anything, the game should be more difficult, but at the same time, the player should have a chance to actually respond. Which is entirely the issue with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is because the fact that not many players can be able to activate card effects, because they make a field where they want to prevent their player from actually doing anything, and that's where that gives players a reason to actually rage quit. So at least in this scenario, we are going back and forth with each other. We are interacting. You'll see the effects with one another, being able to correlate and be able to transition, where it's like we both see card effects being activated on either side, pace to pace, and then it puts a bigger stretch, making it so that the duel is more interesting to watch, and that way you guys feel entertained, if you get what I mean. So I shouldn't be able to explain too much detail. You should already know by now. Like this duel already is not getting out of hand. It's already exciting the way it is. So as I let my opponent proceed, I already pretty sure I'm already done with my responses. So like again, yeah, I do have disruptions, but it's not like it's not like I'm going first and then have my first turn board and stopping my opponent from actually playing the game, or I have to draw a bunch of cards and then spend 10 to 11 to 12, possibly 15 minutes or more to basically slow the time. Because yet again, I'm doing this so that I can actually have time to actually play that, and I didn't hesitate at all. So he's still looking into his extra deck. From here on, he can't do anything, so I still have cards to activate, which is Albion and Ecclesia in my grave. Let's fast forward here. So I'm going to set Brand Diffusion, my mistake, oops. Let's continue. So I'm obviously going to play Brand Diffusion. At this point, it should possibly be game, unless he has something up his sleeve that I'm not aware about. Because it doesn't look like he's any more disruptions at this point, so from here on out, it should be game, so Tragedy's effect will activate. So because I changed Tragedy, I get to search the Despia monster from my deck to my hand. But first I had to discard Full Rebellion for cost, and now from here on out, I'm going to Fusion Summon for Quarteritis. And his effect, obviously during the main phase, is a quick effect. It can change the attack of all monsters currently on the field to 0. Since they're non-fusion monsters, it only affects my opponent's monsters, and considering all my monsters on the field are fusion, it does not affect them whatsoever. So my mistake, it only applies to monsters that are fusion monsters, but are not only that have a level lower, less than 8, as well as non-fusion monsters. So it can be level 8 or higher fusion monsters, but it does not apply to affect monsters that are level 8 or higher. So besides, like outside of fusion something, that's what I'm trying to clarify right here for you guys, for those confused. It's something you need to be aware so that you can confirm that you don't get confused with the card effect. So from here on out, it's pretty much over. I'm going to fusion summon using his Orgoth, and I'm going to pretty much take advantage of the Orgoth that I got rid of with Mirror Jade, and then I'm going to use Titanglad to gain the boost thanks to the remaining Orgoth that he had on field, which I sent to the grave thanks to Albaz. So he's basically going to be 36, and I'm going to abuse this Orgoth, hopefully allowing me to draw 2 cards, which I'm about to sooner or later. So as you see, from here on out, it should already be game since he has no disruption, and my field outclasses his board 5 to 1 is already game, you can tell. So, and considering how all my monsters have more than 2,500, should be enough, and he only has 1 monster 0 attack. I should already pushed the game for game. There's nothing he can do, and this is where he admits defeat, and he's willing to honor me with this duel, and he was also willing to subscribe, and I do give him credit for that, and I do say thank you. I did want to see the list, but he told me to check on Kira Twig's channel just in case, because that's where he got the idea from. But again, he will be able to admit defeat for me. It is confirmed after, but again, take this as a learning lesson, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.